Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So I want to just thank everybody. I want to thank these speakers for this great session. The last session of the day, saving the best for last because the EV is such an interesting opportunity, a huge load potential, a flexible load, and something that we're going to have more and more of. So thank you so much for that work. I'm going to just make a couple of quick comments. I'm going to start by thanking again Jingjing Liu and Kula Addy and Scott Cox for helping to organize the event. Thanks to everybody online who stayed with us all day. I know you probably come and gone, and I think some of the folks have gone on the FlexLab tour. So if you haven't, there's also a 5:30 tour if you want to make that one. I want to just reflect on a couple of things. So we talked about the 7 gigawatt goal that Andrew McAllister mentioned earlier. We've been modeling that as part of what's called the demand response potential study. And Sarah Smith showed you some of the data for the CalFlexHub technologies that we're trying to understand the value proposition with prices, because prices, we need those prices in order to have that value. So that we talked a lot about the utilities developing these 50 megawatt programs that they're trying to roll out hourly pricing for all sectors, for homes and C&I as well as EVs. So there's an opportunity here, but there's a lot of work to do. So I want to just remind people that it was really exciting for me to hear from the heat pump water heater folks, because the USNAP and the CTA 2045 and the Open ADR was on all those slides. There was a researcher named Ron Hoffman who was working with the California Energy Commission, and both Open ADR and USNAP were his ideas. And so our first Open ADR tests of Open ADR 1 were back in 2003. So we've been working on this for 20 years. Hopefully it won't take as long to scale this. But I want to also thank Bruce Nordman for his continued vision around Open ADR 3.0. So let's thank Bruce. So 1.0, but the idea was always there. The idea was that we would avoid blackouts and brownouts in California if prices were responding to devices, because we had some blackouts with deregulation. And so the California Energy Commission brought together researchers, and we had funding on something called the Demand Response Research Center. So for many years, we were developing Open ADR 1.0, which was a national committee. And then I'm getting a phone call. So luckily, I have a watch. Smartwatch. So we had Open ADR 1.0. Then we gave the entire Open ADR 1.0 spec to a standards development organization, an SDO, and Open ADR 2.0 came out, and the Open ADR Alliance formed. And then Open ADR 3 sort of updated the profiles and focused on pricing. So that's something CalFlexHub has done. And I also want to thank Matt Fung in the back. Matt, he's our CAM with the California Energy Commission. So Matt has been working with many of us from the original concept of CalFlexHub. And as mentioned earlier, we have over 20 different partners. We have over 20 projects. And so, we really appreciate the opportunity to share that with all of you today. There was a lot of comments about making things simple and accessible. So there's a lot of complexity here. So we want to keep working on that concept of making it easy for the customer, because we know none of this is going to be adopted if it isn't easy for the customer. That's true for C&I as well. Commercial buildings are trying to figure this stuff out. Thermal energy storage is complex. EVSEs and telematics and standards. And so again, we appreciate everybody thinking about that. And I just want to make one last comment about grid interactive efficient buildings. So we developed something called the GEB roadmap for DOE. And Ram explained to you that they don't want just grid interactive, but they want low power interactive. And Bruce has been saying we need gateways in the home where the devices are interacting in the home. And then they're showing a load shape to the grid that is already a lower load shape. So we need low power devices. Energy efficiency still matters. Low power loads matter. Connectivity within the building and connectivity between the building and the grid. So those are all pieces of this emerging technology platforms. And there's a lot of work to continue to collaborate between the technology companies, the utilities, the state government here in California, but also federally and internationally. So I'll close there. And again, thank you all for joining us today. And we look forward to continuing to engage over the next year. Thanks so much.